Hey history fans! Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Phillis Wheatley, the enslaved girl who became one of the most celebrated poets in pre-19th century America. And get this, she did it all before most teens were even thinking about algebra. Phillis was born in West Africa, likely in Senegal or Gambia, around 1753. At just 7 years old, she was captured and brought to Boston on a slave ship. She was purchased by the Wheatley family, who noted she was a slender, frail child and worried she might not survive long. But little did they know, this young girl was about to make history. Instead of just training her for domestic duties, the Wheatleys, particularly their children Mary and Nathaniel, taught her to read and write. This was incredibly rare at the time. Phillis devoured every book she could get her hands on, from the Bible to classics by Homer, Virgil, and Milton. She also studied astronomy, geography, and history. Imagine being a child, enslaved, and simultaneously reading Greek poetry in its original language. Her brilliance was undeniable. Phillis quickly started writing her own poetry, showing a mind and spirit far beyond her years. At just 13, she had her first poem published in a newspaper. But her big break came with an elegy she wrote for the popular preacher George Whitefield. This poem didn't just make her famous in Boston. It was published in London and brought her international acclaim. Think about that for a second. An enslaved teenage girl in colonial America was becoming a literary star on both sides of the Atlantic. She was paraded before political leaders in the new United States and English aristocrats as living proof that Black people possessed immense artistic and intellectual capabilities, directly challenging the racist ideologies of the time. By the age of 18, Phillis had a collection of 28 poems ready for publication. She and the Wheatleys tried to find subscribers in Boston, but the colonists just weren't interested. So, she looked to London. With the help of a wealthy patron, her book, Poems on Various Subjects, Religious and Moral, was published there in 1773. This made her the first African American and one of the first women in America to publish a book of poetry. This collection wasn't just a personal triumph. It was a landmark moment. It cemented her place in literary history and became a powerful tool for the growing abolitionist movement. Activists used her work to argue for the humanity and rights of enslaved people. Phillis even had to go through a bizarre examination by a group of Boston's most prominent men to prove she actually wrote the poems. Of course, she passed with flying colors. Phillis Wheatley was a teenage literary genius, a trailblazer for African American writers, and living proof that talent can never be truly chained. Her legacy reminds us that a single voice, armed with a pen, can challenge an empire and inspire generations to come. So, next time you feel like the odds are stacked against you, remember Phillis Wheatley. She wrote poetry that dazzled the world, inspired profound change, and secured her freedom, all before she even turned 21. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible tales from history. See you next time.